Hello, peasants, and welcome. Welcome to the refined style of life, to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. My name is Mr. Jaeger, and today we're going to drop the dribbles, the lower forms of people, and experience class as it is meant to be for those who are earning highly refined and highly sophisticated means of transportation. I am, of course, talking about the Origin Jumpworks company. Now, established in 2135, the Origin Jumpworks community has revolutionized luxurious travel, lasting for many years in all circumstances, both in minor and, of course, industrially many large. I can't fucking do it. No, I can't stand it. I have been dreading this day. And of course it's the last day, because of course it is. Now, this is Origin Jumpworks. It is the fancy schmancy, I'm a pansy, whatever, kind of ships. But they do, at the moment, hold the record holder for the largest vessel in the game. I am, of course, talking about the 890 Jump. They even got their own fucking desk. They're so snobby. Assholes. Anyway, so you can tell I'm not a big fan of Origin. Okay, so my opinions are not actually, well, they're a mixture between versatility and practicality over, they prefer style over this, but I'm not going to deny that the Origin Jumpworks ships do have a level of practicality inside their own strange ways. So what we're going to do today, if you haven't seen this episode before, is, of course, have a look around all of the different ships, give my opinions on them, and if depending on, though, to be honest with you, with this lineup, I don't think I will grab any of the ships, though I think I might have to be forced to grab some ships. We'll have a bit of a look around and generally have an overall opinion regarding what these ships are. But truth be told, I really don't care for these vessels. Out of all brands in this entire lineups that we've seen for the last 8 days, I have not enjoyed. There is not a brand I enjoy least than Origin Jumpworks. So, without further ado, let's go with the smallest vessel on our lineup today, which is the 85X Limited. It's like a sort of a car. It's more or less a glorified car. Like if you had to find a Lamborghini, Bugatti Veyron, Ferrari, this is the hypercars they're calling them nowadays. This is probably what you would have. It's got an indicator. It's got McLaren. It's basically a snazzier car. Might have a QT, but I'm not entirely sure. I've not really seen this particular ship before, at least up close. So it's got a couple of size 1s, maybe a size... Is that a size 1? Yeah, this is all size 1. I doubt they can fit a size 2 in here. So you've got a variety of different weapons, but really these are self-defense. They're not really designed to go into it, but yeah. Going over to the other side, we have probably the only ship I aesthetically find pleasing, which is the Origin M50 Interceptor. This is a racing ship, dedicating-wise, and its wheels textures look very strange from a distance. Wow! Check... Jesus Christ, that is impressive. But no, the M50 is... this does look good. It's got a couple of size, I'm going to say 1s, but it could be 2s. Ship. Oh, God, hello. I'm stuck in the ship. GG. So yes, it's a very fast vehicle, dedicated racing vessel. So once the racing mechanics get fully inputted, I definitely would agree that will probably be awesome. Anyway, so that's the 600, so that must be the 300. Or is that both the 600? What are you? I'll be honest with you, my knowledge on, well, I guess, this entire series, my knowledge on these vessels is limited, but I do know that there is one 600 and one 300. And I'm thinking the 300 is to the right, the 600 is... Well, this may also be a 600, but I don't know. I'd have to come up to it. Obviously, we can see the immense scale of the 890 Jump, which is ridiculous in its scope. I mean, good God, it's huge. If ever a shot had to be made to illustrate just how big, right, what is this? The 600i. Okay, so that is also probably a 600i. But yeah, so the yeah, so the Origin Shipworks. We'll go with the small. We'll go small and work our way up to big. So let's actually go to the more utilitarian style ships. So as I said, the Origin is more about luxury and quality. So you will often have people debating over, you know, vessels like, for example, the Origin 350R. They have a whole bunch of varieties of different things. You've got the 325A, 350R. You have also the 325s, which could be considered pretty decent aircrafts. I mean, they're built for luxury. They're built for the snaz of these things. Can I get into this thing? No. It's irritating. I kind of wanted to get in. I know how to get into these things as well, because I've been on a couple of these things, but it doesn't. Oh no! There we go. There we go. There we go. Open these things up a bit. Right. So, going into the Origin 350R, you're greeted with a whole bunch of. Oh, it's fairly simple. Big snazzy bed. Probably some things on the side. Nothing too fancy. You have, of course, the. Hang on, let me try and open this door again. Nope. Okay. Well, as I said, simple but effective. Nice bed. Massive open view from, like, all the way up. So that's, like, view-wise, you're like, eh. And it's alright, but... like, the interior's okay. The carpet looks alright. But it doesn't... It's too sleek and slender. I have this weird thing with this game. It's too sleek, too fancy, too whatever. It doesn't really, to me at least, speak, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. Like, I had a lot more fun on the Herald than anything, which you'll laugh. But yeah, for me, the Herald style shipping is something that visually stimulates me. So there's that one. And that's the 325A, isn't it? So does this ship suffer the same problem? Let's enter, see what happens. Like, I think it's kind of fitting. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this is the kind of semi-traditional thing. So you do have multiple versions of the ship. There is, in fact, a shitter. No shower, though, which is good. And, yep, these guys have class. At least that's the one thing I'll respect them for. Their toilet dispensers still work. So as you can see, the design is very snazzy. It's got its own little fridge. It's got its own, I'm nicking your water. Mine. So, you have a weapons rack. You've got a suit area. Ooh, does he have coffee? Wait, he has coffee. Fuck your water. I'll have your coffee. Oh. I can drink the coffee. You have a little slurp in my mask. I don't care. I have coffee. It's fine. So as said, it's simple. It's got its own sink. It's, you know, it's all snazzy. The interiors, though, for me, I find to be quite bland and lacking in any kind of emotion. And for me, that just does not find. I do not find that appealing, at all. I just, you know. It sounds like I'm being difficult for a reason, and it's not that whatsoever. It's just I find that there's such a lack of emotion with a number of these vessels, which apparently our coffee can transcend the universe. It's brilliant. We would not hold a coffee cup like that, though. I'm sorry. Anyway, so as we go underneath the 890 jump, you can just see the friggin' scale. Also, some of the repulsors as well. It's ridiculous. I mean, we have, I have been on the 890 jump a few times, but it still fucking astounds me how ginormously large that vessel is. Obviously, she took the place of the Reclaimer as the largest vessel in the game. And I'm sad because I loved the Reclaimer. The Reclaimer was beautiful. So this is the Origin 300i, again, sort of a faster, snazzier ship, and the 315P, similar style. Like, the design of the ships are fairly similar. Their roles do differ quite differently. You've got security, you've got, you know, transportation, more militaristic style things. But again, it lacks emotion. You just see. To be honest with you, if you lined those two up, and and I wasn't if I was completely a complete imbecile when it came to identifying ships in this game, so not too far off what I was earlier, I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. Maybe I'd notice that this ship has different colours, so maybe it's a different type, but apart from that, I wouldn't have a clue. So, yeah, like, that way's not so fast on. Right, let's... Now, question, how does one... Oh, there is a lift in here. Which I'm going to assume is not meant to be like this, but thank you for being super freaking obvious. Right. So this is a 600i Touring. So there's probably... This is either the snazzier version of the 600i. Well, let's go lower deck. Because we're now actually going to be able to finally go from a louder environment into this thing. So this used to be the big mainstay of the 600i. Of the Origin before the 890 Jump. Though I fear that since the 890 Jump has been constructed, the 600i may in fact fall out of favour. So that looks like a more important room. So what does this room go to? Ah, right. So this is the stern of the ship. And as you can see, it's very luxurious. Oh, it's the bed. That's really impractical. I'm sorry. Why would you put plants right next to your pillow? That looks really dumb. Because, like, you don't know what's inside those things. You don't know what was there before the plants came in. So you're just having a nice little snooze on your 3-pillow bed, because reasons, and you get bed bugs because, you know, shock and horror. And don't forget, these bed bugs are probably from the planet Thyceres, which means these things eat your face. So, yeah, good job. Little desk there. Compilers, Programmer's Guide to SOS Systems. TNG operating. This guy's a coder, apparently. JSpan systems, and of course the bookmarks are bottles of alcohol, so we know how much he's actually studying. So one could assume this person's got rich family members. We see a jungle little thing in the background. It's all nice and hydrated. No reason for it to be there, but screw it. Multi-hook systems, snazzier, snazzy mirror with a whole bunch of shaving creams and... Oh, that's cool. I'll agree, that is cool. Though, okay, so we've got a toothbrush. So is that a toothbrush sharpener? Maybe. Oh my god. Ah, pills. What is that? Has he got dentures or something? Oh wait, that's the floss? Jesus Christ, look how big the floss is. Bloody hell. So, he has a shitter. But it's not a shit shower. No, sir. Though the shower looks very snazzy. I do like the bathroom. This bathroom looks nice. I will agree. The one thing I will say about the bathroom is nice. I mean, okay, so to me, this is nice. It's fancy, but it's sort of a nice, pleasant experience. But again, lacking emotion, in my opinion. You get the fancy pants wooding, going into what I assume is the lounge / whatever. You've got this big, open, potentially dangerous viewpoint, because obviously... Any second something could mack into that, and there goes the entire cabin. And considering the superstructure of this entire vessel, you're probably going to find that if someone knows how to blow a ship up, if realism was a huge thing, this would be a prime target. Because that would be my target. We'll save the stairs for later. Let's go into what I assume are the crew quarters. Although there's the elevator going up to the second floor, so there's a second elevator here. And this is the... Well, I'm going to assume it's a crew quarters, but yeah, great job on the privacy frontier. Though, to be honest with you, most ships don't really have much in terms of privacy. So, either this is the crew with a really long distance TV. Like, seriously? Good luck trying to watch that at night without making a sound. Just going to say that. There's the escape pods, of course, with a nice little waiting seat, because reasons. Is there anything in these things? Nope. Nope. This looks to be like a medical center. Yep, it is. Nope, it's not. It's just the toilets for the not so fancy people. So this is clearly the guest's toilet. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. Only one. I like this, right? Well, there is toilets for two. No, there's two. Two toilets for a crew of how many? Unless there are multiple cabins where there are multiple shitters. Good luck, is all I'm going to say. Right, so we've gotten to what I am assuming is the crew quarters. So now let's go slightly up, because obviously... Oh, what is that? It's a texture! There we go. So we go up these snazzy stairs. I would feel really uncomfortable with these, though. They're a little more secure than I'd think. Again, though, lacking all emotion. Just lab sterile conditions. Right, so this is clearly a guest's bedroom. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. This is a guest's bedroom. No TV, though. Shame. There is the dark toilet. Oh, God, in the door. The door doesn't like me. So, once again, we have a shower and a toilet. This time normally accolated. And, of course, a tidy television, if you really want to. Or is that a control pad? That's a control pad. Okay. So, yeah, this is definitely where the... Yeah, same room, only opposite, same room. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rooms at the moment for guests. Where does this go? So that's the lift to the upper floors. So this is... Okay, that goes to the bar. That goes... Ah, engineering. Right, okay. See, here's the stupid thing, right? Engineering-wise, on these vessels, I find to be more visually pleasing. Although, that said, there's nothing to be happening here, so one would assume... Yeah, that's it. Okay, fair enough. But we'll go into that to round off this particular ship. And I'm going to assume it's the same... well, I'm going to throw in a less caring tone that the 600i is also doing the same. So we've got more escape pods for those guys. And, here's the bridge. Okay, so... Similar in design to the 890 Jump, its bridge design is a little bit more ecstatic and a little larger, but the overall core concept is the same. You've got your 2 co-pilots, and then you've got your Origin Jumpworks. Don't worry, we will be going on to the 890 Jump, so it is going to take some time. Anywho, so... Right. Let's go back and head over to the little old... I say little and old. Right, so... Origin... Right, so we've got a view downstairs of something. Unless... Oh, no, it actually goes out. So this is the bar with clearly only alcohol. Because, God forbid, someone just wants to get a cup of a Coke. Some really horrible-looking bar seats that look painful to sit on. No back support, so GG on that one. And how are you... can I just ask the question? When you're looking at this thing, how much do you want to lean? Unless if you're sitting there... I'm going to sit there. How close are you to that thing? Right, so I am sitting at least 2 to 3 feet away from the bar. So even if I wanted to, I could never grab that seemingly moldy looking fruit there. So, well done. Oh, and apparently someone's playing poker with some snazzy cards. I like the cards. They look cool. Once again, rolling into the soulless abyss of a ship. Ah, right. Does this ship have class? No, it doesn't. Okay, so there's 3 levels to this, which I'm not going to lie. That, I like. That is cool. Bit of a trip hazard, but it's cool. I like that seating arrangement. That is nice. Ah, hello. I actually have... Yes! Okay. This is good. This is good. Yes. Oh, it's European style as well. Good. This I like. We should be able to play... Okay, CIG. Please, 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 please. Once you nail down quality of life... Please, can we play pool in Star Citizen? Please. I will buy whatever ship I need to buy, or buy whatever thing I need to buy, so I can play pool in this game. I love playing pool. I suck at it, but I love playing it. Yes. This room, love. Lighting, great. The position of the board, it is lovely. It's simple, lovely, tucked away, loved it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Anyway, going over to... That's the one thing of this ship I love the most at the moment. Even the 890 Jump doesn't have a pool table. Spoilers. Right, so once again, you've got ketchup, you've got work out. Fucking hell. The more I see of this ship, the more I realise that the person who would own this thing is a knob. And not even the kind of nice knob. One of those arsehole knobs, you know? Ah. Now look at the vibrancy and colour in this room versus this. It's all white. It's all plain. There's no emotion coming from it to me. This, complete opposite. You've got these lovely colour gratings. The lighting is down. It's all about trying the functionality. That sort of final. There we go. Look at this. There's the engine room. There's all of the sound effects. The system trying... Oh, that's the outside. Fuck. Damn it. Well, there's all the engine panels. There's the rumbling of the ships. It looks so much better. The lighting is so much better. The quality is so much better. Though it's intriguing that the engineer would have to walk through the people in order to go down to the thing. I'm going to assume it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. It just looks so much better. Ah. Oh, you can close it. Yeah. A bit of a weird sound glitch, but sure. Right, so that would appear to be that for this ship. So, yeah, 600 jump. Well, sorry, 600i. With the exception of the pool room, there is absolutely no reason why I would get one of these. The pool room does make a strong effort, though. I'm not going to lie. But, nah. I honestly have no cares for this ship. Because it just doesn't say anything to me. It just says, I'm a knob. Oh. You know, it's like the Lurva driver in World of Tanks, you know? It's like, oh, driving in my Lurva tank. Oh. You know, and if you're curious as to who makes that, watch Slip Phantoms. You can get a lot out of someone. Is this a door? No, it's not. Because it doesn't look like anything human. You know, you're flying around to the ship. It's like, look at the ground. Notice how you can see into space, and there's no real protection apart from the shields. So if someone in, say, I don't know, a harbinger wanted to get one of our ships, we wouldn't really stand a chance. Oh. It's like, you're a dick. Anyway. But no, that's the 600i. And not about, as I said, the pool table is what makes this thing interesting, but everything else I'm like, bleh. I may have missed a few rooms, but time constraints are unfortunately a factor here. Right, so there's two ways we can get to the vessel. One, we're about to almost miss, unless the person's going to do a nice thing and wait for us to come in. Wait! Yay. Oh no, he was leaving. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate this. So let's go into this. This is actually probably the best way to get into a ship if you want to do a ship tour. I always find going bottom to top, to me at least, is aesthetically pleasing. So this is the cargo bay to the Origin 890 jump. The cool thing also is that in, well, unfortunately it takes a while here, but the cool thing about the 890 jump is that in patch 3.8 we will be getting a mission to clear out a bunch of bad guys in it. So that is really cool. Right, so I've done this thing enough times to be able to give you a nice quick run through. This is the engine room. They both have this sort of entranceway to them, so there's no real reason to worry. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through the crew quarters. And I will say the language of this ship is at least a little better than the 600i. Because it's a little bit more functionality, at least in some parts, when it comes to the crew quarters. Now, for me, this kind of crew quarters is nice. You've got weapon racks on the left and the side. Still kind of snazzy. Because there will be a chance that passengers would potentially come through here. Long, winding corridors, which, again, thanks to the lighting methods in this, I think they made the Origin made a few realized. Citrals. Oh, well, I'm assuming it's basically quarantine. Oh, control pad. Oh, isolation control point. Yeah. So. Medical station, it's all fancy snazzy. Again, white and soulless most of the time. But in this area, it's not so bad. they've chosen to lower the tone of lighting in this environment to go a little bit softer and a little less lab sterile. Still kind of sterile, but not as bad. So now we're going into the hangar. Now there's 2 turret access points, one over here, and one that requires a lift for you to get to. So the cool thing about the hangar, or at least the hangar door, is that this particular hangar door goes all the way up into the top there, as you can see. And the other cool thing is that as soon as you make landfall with this this pad here in particular, it doesn't matter whether you're in Atmo or not, your ship will stick to this point. So hang on, let me just call the elevator. Elevator. So you can get the elevator. It takes you up into the turret bay, which is pretty nice, where it has the large weapons. Because this ship can defend itself. It's not quite as... it has multiple defense points, some remote turrets and some other things, but, you know, it does the job, is all I can say. So, we've got the basketball thing, we've got that as well, so that's all good. And as said, you go onto the hangar bay, you can land a whole assortment of ships. You've got small ships, you can pile them in, or some larger ships. But generally, if you can do this, you can QT even with the hangar bay up and the other vessel still parked on the top, which is quite a useful luxury. Whether or not that would actually be a thing in real life, or if it was realistically possible, but at the same time, it's kind of a nice little knock feature. And oh, I did say that they had a pooled cube. I lied because I was promoting a sense of wonder and happiness at the fact that you do have a pool cube, and not because I forgot. No, I do remember this was one of the few rooms I like, only because the pool cube. This pool table, I like. It looks very impractical because I don't imagine how you can get where with the ball. Where would you store the balls eventually? Oh, there it is. Never mind. Right, I'll just shut up then, because. But no, like how would that? I'm just beginning to theorize in query because. Legitimately, unless I suppose they could just sort of roll down to the center, is probably the logic in that one, because it almost looks like they wouldn't fit, but I think they probably do. It's just I'm paying way too much attention to a pool table, but I can't play pool. How irritating is that? And then they got this old game style arcade thing, which you'd think they would have in the future, but maybe they're like a retro fan. So this is the crew quarters. Yeah, this is the crew quarters. You've got the crew, or maybe lower class people, who knows, maybe like the D class or whatever. So, certainly, but I mean, it's more probably crew, yeah, crew personnel. So, this is the crew quarters. So, they're not bad, you know, it's simple, very sort of tucked in, but it's nice, and they have a little common area with, once again, strange looking fruit, and even a, whatever the fuck that is. So they've got their own abilities to do stuff, and they have their own little kitchen, which is not too far away from the actual kitchen. So if you wanted to be a cheeky fucker, you could probably end up going into the main kitchen and stealing the food. Well, say stealing, liberating the food from the proper kitchen, because they do have access to stuff, and it even has a walk-in freezer. So. There you go. You can have some pretty and weird-looking tomatoes with some fancy-pants knives and whatever. No laser cutters, apparently. No plasma cutters, either. They probably watched Dead Space and been like, yeah, we don't want those. Because any aspect of Dead Space that becomes real life might unfortunately cause a real-life Dead Space to occur. So, obviously, escape pods coming up. And again, this area has a little bit more soul than the 600i series. I think the 600i probably had some other things. This room I like. This room I like. Okay, so this is the emergency bridge, which does work. You can get into the pilot seat here. Obviously, you can't see where you're going. There probably would be some kind of remote screen. There is a plan for a remote screen to basically come down and to show you where you're going, but obviously, it's at the moment not really functional. But, that said, the functionality is there. You can fly it. It's just at the moment you'd have to go third person for that. And we're now back at the start of our journey over here, but don't worry, we are not done yet. There's an elevator which can be called from left to right, but we have ladders. Let's use them. Oh. No ladder is long enough. It's disappointing. So we going into that, coming up from engineering, we can actually see two very nice looking. We have two very nice looking escape pods, or escape. What's it called again? No, it's not pods, is it? It's an escape raft. There we go. So if the shit hit the fan and you wanted to evacuate your civilian personnel, leather seating as well, you can do so, and it would be very. That was very interesting. So now we're going up to the snazzier side of life. We have all of these sort of seats and accommodations, and there would be a dance floor, but I've yet to figure out which part of the ship would actually have this. So let's go into the famous spa areas. Now for me, I do like this. If there is one thing I will say, the wooden accommodation of the spa, there's even the steaming room as well, so, you know, God help you if you ever want to get into that thing. That's fine. And you can definitely tell the quality of the rooms have now doubly, if not quadruply increased, due to the fact that you're now dealing with the rich snobs rather than the non-rich snobs. We've got a fancy pants. Does it actually have... Very faintly. There you go. You has a jacuzzi, which you can go underneath. And you can actually drown in this game. Doesn't make any sense, I know, but you can in fact drown if you take your helmet off. But because we're air sealed, of course you're not going to, because, you know, you're in a suit. You can't be seen. But yeah, this is the sort of thing. And of course, there are the two elevators that allow you to go from pretty much the ground floor all the way up to the top. And we've got some more sort of drying rooms here. So if you've gone for a swim in the indoor pool, that's right. And there is absolutely no interaction with the water whatsoever. You can actually go underwater. Again, you're more just like walking around. There's no swimming mechanics involved as of yet. And again, if you don't have a suit on, your character will in fact drown. So remember, kids, people can't breathe underwater, however much it looks like they are. So, fancy pants, rocks there, and some other stuff. Just like a lot of this stuff, I look at it and I'm just like, okay, sure, whatever. Foreign bugs, which might be on the plants, you never know. Right, so let's go into... Well, first of all, let's have a quick look at the entranceway that most people would get. As we're on the way there, we might as well have a quick look. So it's the exact same on the other side. This is one of the bedrooms that probably the more wealthier people would to have. So they've got a fish tank with all sorts of probably horrible, nasty creatures that I would never feel comfortable sleeping right next to because I'm not that crazy. Giant toilet area with a massive marble thing and a bath/shower, which is the entire roof is a shower. I did not notice this until just now. So also good luck trying to avoid getting water in the thing, but yeah, sure. So anyway, not bad, but So going over to here is actually the main entrance that most people will have. There's a lift which I have to be careful about because there's a glitch, unfortunately, where if you hang on, if okay, so technically there is a lift here. So if I wanted to, oh, there we go. Yeah, you don't see it. So I'm currently floating on nothing. This feels very weird. Hang on, let me try and zoom the camera out a bit. Ah, fuck. Hang on, can I try and do it like this? There we go. I'm floating. So, yes, it's a little bit silly. Oh my god, I've got the first person view again. Oh, cool. Right, anyway. So, yes, it's a bit of a strange thing, but that would be how you'd get into the lift normally. So there's fancy pants stuff docking bays 1 and 2. And then as you go into the vessel, this would be your original viewpoint as you go into the whole, wow, look at the top thing, it's incredible, sort of deal. So, again, like, it's aesthetically, it's rich and it's fancy, which is great, but I'm like, bleh. So we'll go into the bar slash restaurant-y place. Another 2 bedrooms which are exactly the same, even including the bathroom. So there you go for that one. So the amount of people who can actually stay on this ship is limited, but it's not bad. You then, of course, have this is probably the bog standard toilets for people who just want to go onto this vessel and to just have a nice meal out if they wanted to experience life and culture at a discounted price. And here is one of the rooms I would say that I like the most in the 890 Jump, which is the bar. Aesthetically pleasing, the lighting is perfect. You've got good views of the verse as you go around. There's a largish space, and it looks absolutely lovely. Here is also a cool thing. This is basically a food preparation area, and down there is a lift to the kitchen, as well as a little mini lift thing. Where is it? I mean, I know there's a lift here, which you can take straight to the kitchen, if you should so want. But there's also like a mini lift thing, which allows you to go there. So, yeah, it looks lovely. And actually, yeah, it does honestly look pretty darn good. So, I'm not gonna pull any punches here, and I'm gonna eat the humble pie. This bar, I love. The lighting, the aesthetics, overall, is beautiful. Even the nuts. Those are goddamn looking nice nuts. Anyway, so going from the bar room, you go into a sort of executive restaurant-y sort of thing. The restaurant, I'm like, about. It's sort of just like, looks kind of uncomfortable. The chairs are way too upright. It looks like you're self-serving, so you're rich, but you're not that rich. Though, cool thing here, block out at one side, fully visible from the other. This I like. I don't know how they did it. Well, probably to texturing, but this is nice. And of course, here is the very famous meeting rooms. This is the very famous meeting room. Now, you'll laugh, but there is, honest to God, a bit of a rush for people to secure, people who either have this or people to secure these vessels in general, because the concept of an in-game meeting between orgs is honestly something that many people are kind of hoping to do, and I really support this, because again, the interaction between clans and organizations will be a factor when it comes to dealing with sort of politics and other sort of things. Admittedly, we're in the very early stages of such over-ambitious designs. But as the verse expands and as more and more people can get onto the same server, obviously we're going to have clashes between clans. There's going to be pirate gangs, there's going to be merchant guilds, there's going to be crafting unions. All these sort of things are going to want to have talks with other groups of players, talking about what they want to do in the verse and how they're going to equally distribute the resources of the verse, or at least get a better share of the verse. It's a very, very politics in video gaming, not just in what we believe, socialism or communism. That goes far out the window. It's quite simply, we want to secure the contracts to be able to build our ships. We want the minerals to be able to build our ships. We want to be able to build our ships in peace. We want to be able to use our ships to blow other ships up, but at the same time be able to provide a tantamount reason for blowing up other people's ships. It is quite exciting to go with that sort of stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, if you want to look at video games politics done right, or if you want to watch a program or a show about a realistic depiction of how in-game meetings could go in Star Citizen, I advise you look for the anime called Log Horizon. That show, oh my god, it's a good show. It's basically the concept of what if people get trapped in a video game, but the thing is, all the people who are trapped in the video game are hardcore MMO players, so they use their knowledge and logic from playing MMOs to establish a society. And in so, they begin negotiating with other players for resources. There's the people who focus on guilds, combat, mages, all sorts of things. But the logic behind each decision-making process is always a sound, which I love. It's awesome. Very much recommend that show. Anyway, going back to the ship tour. So we have got the bridge now, and as you can see, it looks very snazzy. It's got a world-like thing. We're inside the world! Oh. So, again, similar to the 600i, the 890 jumps two co-pilots on the side, and, of course, the captain/pilot on the main vessel, you have a very good view. Not gonna lie, your view is pretty large. Ship handles like a pig, obviously. She is fucking huge though, so I can't exactly blame her for being a bit fat on the stick. But no, it looks absolutely, yeah, you get a very good panoramic view, and she can go some. It's not that she can't go some, it's just don't expect it to stop quickly, nor do... The hell is that? Huh. I'm just going to say texture loading. I've never seen that before, but my brain just sort of spotted the pixelation, and I'm like, oh god, it's the Matrix! But yes, pretty good. Also, for any of you pirates out there, because I know you all want to try and go into this thing to ruin someone's day, you effectively have complete cost... with the exception of under there, you have complete total fire supremacy. It's dangerous, obviously, because you can get shot and killed, but you might be able to get the important critical blows going into that thing. So hang on, let's just get out there. Anyway, so apart from that, what else is left? Well, we've got this tiny bit left, which, in my opinion, is the second best room in the entire ship, which is, of course, the master bedroom. This has a few nice little snazzy bits to it, but this absolutely lovely view coming out at the back of a vessel. Now, if you guys want to experience a great view, if you know someone who has an 890 jump, if you have an 890 jump yourself, because you're that much of a rich prick, just go outside Area 18, zoom out into space when you're coming out on the night side of Area 18, of Ofcourse, and you will see an absolutely fantastic view. So, which one is the one that I like the most? Which is it? This one? No, this one's this. All right. So this one. So this is basically like a personal cabin slash maybe a smaller, lowercase meeting area. But we'll show you the better one in a second. This is more of the personal players sort of thing. They've got flowers, they've got booze, they've got coffee. Finally, something we can agree upon. But unfortunately, they've got workout things, so I still have to call you a wanker. Fancy pants. Cutlery and other stuff. A picture of your ship, because you're that much of a self-absorbed knob. And going into the master bedroom, you can see the ginormous TV, wide open spaces, giantly bright lights, so good luck if they ever have an alarm go off. And going into your bathroom, fairly similar design of bathroom actually, nothing too fancy in that regard. Going back up, we go into, this is the room I was talking about as my second favourite room. This right here. Now this is awesome. You've got some really beautiful artwork here. This I like. This I like. I like a lot. You've also got, once again, a model of the ship that you're on because you're that sad about it. You're that sad. Maybe as a kid you got that, and maybe it's a sort of as a token of that. But that would be unlikely, because if you're in this kind of environment, you've already got this ship when you were born. So anyway, the cool thing about this is that with these chair and seating arrangements, you can really feel your place inside a meeting. So you could be just sort of talking and doing whatever. Maybe you're speaking to the heads of two different gaming clans. Like, I don't know, if BSI was having a meeting between a mining organization and a civilian organization, civilian organization, mining and like other security organizations, something that just basically tells to them where we stand, and we have a power play room in this environment, and it looks and feels amazing, and the quality and the craftsmanship and the details in comparison to the rest of our other ships is vastly more entertaining, vastly better, and it just overall looks lovely, and the amount of window rooms you've got as well is ridiculous. So there you guys have it, the 890 jump, and this wraps up our Origin video series. Well, I say the Origin series. Well, this wraps up the new ship manufacturer series, as the last day, which will be tomorrow, is going to be all about pretty much the best in show. So I hope you guys have. Oh, for a second, I thought I was like, and I've missed it, and there was actually no lift there. Shit! How do I get on this thing? Right question. If I send the elevator... Oh! It suddenly appears. Alright, well, hopefully we'll be able to get access to that in a second. I'll probably have to wait for it. But, yeah, so the next day after this will be all about getting the ships that we really want. Which is nice. I'm not going to lie. So, wait for that thing to arrive, and then hopefully... Can I call it? Yes, I can. So, yes, that'll be it on that one. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed. Links are, of course, down below for the other days and all the other vessels, especially my favourite ships, the Drake. Yesterday I had the time of my life with the Drake Interplanetary. There we go. Ah, good. So you don't actually see it, but there you go. So, yes, yesterday we had Drake Interplanetary, and ooh, some of the vessels they had there. Oh. And the day before that we had Aegis Dynamics with its fucking reclaimer. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Snazzy wankers. Anyway, so yes, thank you all so very much for watching. And I will be covering the last day. Don't worry about that. We are going to be. This isn't the end. I will be focusing on the thing, and then we'll talk about overall what I'd say is my my opinion about the show and my excitement for it and whatnot. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you once again. This is Mr. Jaeger signing out. Have a good one, guys.